Hello guys, welcome to another video. Hope you all doing good. In this video, we will see a quick long-term review of 2017 Honda City, which is a facelifted version of the 2014 Honda City, which initially launched in 2014, which is currently 10 years old now. In this video, we will see in 2025 should you still buy a Honda City 4th Gen. In this video, I'll let you guys know the reason to buy and reason not to buy the 4th Gen Honda City. Let's get into the video. The first reason to get an Honda City is obvious. It's the engine. The 1.5 naturally aspirated engine is really good and it's known to be very enthusiastic. So this engine produces 117 horsepower and 145 newton meters of torque, which is not best in class, but it is more than enough, and it is actually very refined and very linear. The power delivery is very linear. It produces its max torque at 4000 rpm, which is pretty good. Nowadays 1 liter engine turbocharged engines are producing at 2000 rpm, which is very low end, which will feel punchy, but this might not feel punchy, but it's very linear. It's like more you rev, more it rewards. This engine is really known for its refinement and the noise it makes. It's an i-VTEC engine. It's not an original VTEC engine, but i-VTEC means it's more oriented towards refinement and fuel efficiency. Mainly, I stands for fuel efficiency. So this is supposed to be fuel efficient, but it is not as fuel efficient as today's 1 liter engines. You can hear the engine. As you can hear, the engine is really sporty sounding. If you own it like this, it will just sound really good. The sound it makes is really enthusiastic, and it's very linear of an engine. The more you rev it, the more power it produces. It produces its max power at 6000 rpm, so you need to hit 7000 rpm in every gear. It's common with every petrol engine. It's a class leading any engine, I would say. There is no better petrol engine in this class. Nothing. Till today, Honda makes 1.5 best. As you can hear, it's great. Okay, I'm doing low of speed. Let's slow down. That spun wheel like crazy. I saw a lot of smoke. So let's launch the car. So second reason is fun to drive. Of course, the driving dynamics of the car is really good. It's not very stable at higher speeds. I'm not saying that, but it feels like a very light car. In fact, it is a very light car. It weighs around 1100 kg. You can feel the lightness of the car when you are driving, and the steering and all those inputs are great. Coming to the steering, it's not very sporty. It's a kind of a comfort, but it offers good feedback. The feedback you would appreciate. If you are coming from a Hyundai or some other brands, it's not as good as a German level, but it's far better than Hyundai and Suzuki. The steering everyone will appreciate for sure. The gearbox is not a very long throw gearbox. It's very short and it's very precise. It's very notched up. Every gear slots right in, and the clutch is also really on the softer side. And the travel is good. It's not a really long travel. The clutch is really soft. It's not abnormally soft. It's a relatively soft. It's not a Hyundai soft. Definitely, it's not Hyundai soft. And the brake pedal is also feeling pretty good. In my car, the slave cylinder has gone. It's time for replacing the slave cylinder, but I have not replaced. It's still working. I will I'll not change things that are working. So in my car, the clutch is pretty hard, but if you are buying new, it should be soft. So the driving dynamics of the car is really good, and you would really appreciate it. it you can easily check the car around corners, and it will take it really good. Uh, of course, there is an understeer at limits, but within the limits, the car behave relatively really good, and the body roll is also very well contained. It's not rolling. Definitely, it will not roll. It's of course a sedan. It will not roll, but the suspension is slightly on the softer side, but still it's very enjoyable. If you like driving in curvy roads, this will feel really good. It's a very light car, and the steering is also really good, and the inputs also really good. You can easily change gears. You will not mind changing gears. That you need to do often, because it doesn't have great low end torque, so you need to be in the right gear every single time. So you'd really appreciate driving this car. This is a very easy car to drive as well, and it's very fun. Now, coming to the last reason why you need to buy this car is its reliability and low maintenance cost. To be honest, I am really impressed how reliable this car is. In this car, every single switches, every window switches, and every switches here, and every single thing is working, still working. It's been 8 years, and it have already done 110,000 kilometers. It's still working. Every single thing in this car is still working. That's pretty impressive. And the car is also very low maintenance. If you change the fluids regularly, this car will last forever. I have been doing the same. I have just changing the engine oil and all the fluids and the wearable stuff, and the car just keeps running. It just running. There is no issue so far. I'm really surprised how reliable this car is, and Hondas are always known to be reliable, and this is nothing short of it. It's really a reliable car to buy. Of course, the parts are a bit not easy to find. I'll come in the reasons not to buy. So these are the reasons you should consider buying an Honda City. Now, coming to the reason not to buy, the first one is of course the engine as well. The engine is a gas guzzler. In people's opinion, it's not my opinion. I'm okay with the fuel efficiency of the engine. This is one of the efficient 1.5 naturally aspirated engine. For an NA engine, the mileage it offers is pretty good in my opinion. It gives around 12 to 15 kilometers in city, and you can stretch up to 17 kilometers in the highway. Of course, if you drive sedately, these mileage can be achieved, but I actually get 13.5 average highways and city driving. I think you can expect between 14 or 15. It really depends upon your driving style. If you are doing 80, 100, it will easily return 16 kilometers in the highway. But in cities, you can expect around 12, 13. And even some people get 8 kilometers. It really depends on their driving style. But the NA engine is actually pretty efficient. Since it's a 1.5, it naturally consumes more fuel than an 1 liter at a lower RPM. So the mileage, people might think it's not that good, but for the reliability of the engine, I would take this. For me, it's not an issue, but people would usually think this as a gas guzzling engine. And the final gearing is also not that great. Currently, I'm doing 80 kilometers. It's around slightly more than 2000 RPM. Uh, it's supposed to have 6th gear, but the 4th gen Honda City doesn't have 6th gear, which would have improved its fuel economy. But this is what we have. So if you are doing 60, 70, this should give good mileage. It will give 17, that is for sure. But ideal cruising speed is around 100, so it will be around 3000 rpm, where it will drink more fuel. So you can expect about 15, 16 in highways. You cannot expect 20 and all. There is no way. You have to have it per mile. The second reason not to buy Honda City is if you are doing high speeds, like really high speeds, not legal speed limits. If you are doing 140 or 160, this car will not feel that stable as you may think. This suspension is on the stiffer side, but it is tuned between like 60 to 120 kilometers per hour, where the car feels very comfortable and stable. Now I'm doing below 100. The car feels really stable, and it's you would not even feel you are going. You can just take your hands and it will just track straight. But higher speeds, it's not the same case. Above 140, this car moves a lot, especially in vertical. It's not moving left to right. It's not swaying. It's not the jolting you call. The joltings and all happen in ladder frame chassis. This doesn't do. It's actually confident. It's inspiring at the speed for me, but you have to hold the steering tight. That is for sure. But it's not very stable. People in your car will notice that car is moving a lot. It's not German stable. If you compare it with Vento, Vento will do really good at higher speeds. Vento or Rapid, both are the same car, but this car will not do something similar. If you are doing 100 120, this should not be an issue, but very high speed this car doesn't perform that good. It's actually moving a lot. If you are okay with it, it should be okay. If you have people, the moving gets a bit less, but that's not the right way. The suspension is simply tuned in lower speeds. It's around 100 to 120. It's a Japanese car. At the end of the day, they will tune for a very less speed. Of course, German people have higher speed limits, so they tune it for higher speed limits. The third reason not to buy this car is the rattling and rusting. This is a very real issue. It's very particular with the 4th gen Honda City. I don't know how it is in 5th gen Honda City. I need to check forums about the 5th gen. I have not experienced that. But 4th gen, everyone is complaining. Every single guy is complaining. The 4th gen Honda City is prone to rattling. Rattling, what I mean is not like it's not rattling like crazy, but you can hear some rattles inside the dashboard. Things aren't that well built here, and you can also hear some noises inside the door and all these things. I have not worked anything. There is nothing aftermarket in this system, but still there is some rattling noise. This is like a issue with the 4th gen Honda City you can find quite often. Actually, rattling is not the real issue here. If you carry some people, they will not notice the rattling, but you would probably notice. If you if you are driving for a long time, only you would get to notice, but otherwise you would not notice the rattling. If you have some music on, you would probably not notice. But the real issue is rusting. This car rusts at a few spots. The door seams are actually getting rusted. I have repainted it, and the wheel wells also rusting. This car is pretty low, right? The regions where it scrapes, it starts rusting. For that, what I have done is I have coated with 3M rubberized paint, which should solve the issue, I guess. But this car is prone to rusting. If you are near coast and all, it will still increase your rusting. And also check for underneath. Exhaust usually rusts in all the cars, but this car is pretty low, and especially the facelift model has a pretty big rear bumper, which will touch in few areas. That's plastic, of course, that will not rust, but it will scrape a lot, and the ramp over angle is also not that great. So you make sure you check the underbody of the car. The seams where you will jack up the car usually scrapes. Slight rust is actually okay. If the rust is superficial, it's okay, but severe rusting can also happen. Make sure it's not in the car you buy. And the last reason not to buy an Honda City is its parts, replacements parts, I would say. It's not that readily available as like Hyundai or Ciaz. There is no much of OEM or OES manufacturers available for Honda. I don't know why they are like this, but they only supply parts to the service center. If you are giving your car to the service center, this should not be an issue, but still the parts will be slightly on the expensive side. It should cost you slightly more than Hyundai and Suzuki. It's not as expensive as German cars like Vento or Rapid, but still it's quite expensive. And if you are trying to find some parts aftermarket, you will not get. For example, in this car, I am trying to get a replacement of shocks in this car. It's done 1 lakh kilometers, so it's time for replacing one. But there is no not many aftermarket suspensions I could find for this car. You can actually get aftermarket suspension for Volkswagen groups because those are like slight enthusiastic cars. So we have options there. Here we don't have the options. And also, if you go for Hyundai, you will find cheaper suppliers for the suspension. That's also not available. You will have like OEM and OES for this car, but those are on the expensive side. And Even the slave cylinders, so you cannot find that easy. So but the parts are quite reliable. You don't need to change anything quite often. I have not changed anything in this car since I bought it. But if there is a situation where you need to change few things, it will be expensive. That you need to keep in mind, but it's not crazy expensive. I would say for the car it's okay. It's paying in terms of the reliability. So the ideal competitor for the car, I would say, or Vento, Rapid, which are both same cars, and you have Ciaz and Verna. From this times, of course, it's between 2014 and 2020. I think this car is still on sale. I guess I don't know why it's in sale for 10 years. It's very long. If you are planning to buy in one new, don't buy it. Just get the fifth generation Honda City, which is much better. This is SOHC engine. The new car is the DOHC engine, so dual head overhead cams, which is slightly better, and it's from Dream Earth technology. In my opinion, please don't buy this car new. If you are planning to buy one, please buy used. There is no point in buying this car in 2025. Don't buy brand new. If you are planning to buy used, you might consider this car. Otherwise, don't buy it. If you really want a good petrol engine, there is no other options. You need to get a Honda City. Ciaz engine is good, but it's not very enthusiastic. This engine is very enthusiastic. It's very linear. Ciaz is very punchy, and it's not that great sounding of a car. Ciaz is more comfortable car, I would say. If your priority is only comfort, please go for Ciaz. If you like driving and if you are enthusiastic about cars, I would say city is the option to go, because Vento and Rapid came with 1.6 liter petrol engines, which are not that great. Really, it's not that great. At that time, also, city was known for its petrol engine. Still, it's known for its 1.5 NA engine. It's one of the class leading engines in the market currently. If you are looking for a 1.5 liter NA engine, there is no better engine than this city still now. Still, but if you are buying brand new, of course, go for fifth gen. If you are planning to buy one used, fourth gen city you can really consider. But if you like diesels, this is not a great option. You have a 1.5 engine in Honda, but it's not that refined. It's a very diesel engine. It's of course it's efficient, but it's not sound that great. That ticking noise is really high in that engine. I would not recommend you buying that diesel engine. If you are buying a city, please buy it in petrol and manual. No CVT as well. The CVT will ruin the engine. Literally. The fun, of course, not the engine. If you like diesel, go for Verna diesel, which is great. The one before the tube light and one after the fluidic Verna. That Verna is really good. Go for that. Hyundai really makes great diesel engines. So in overall, cities can be described in three terms. One, of course, it has great engine. So the highlights of the city is its engine. Second, it's a really fun car to drive. And third one is reliability. If you are looking for these things, city would be an ideal choice. And fourth gen city is still good in 2025 in my opinion. But make sure you buy one used, not the new one. If you are going for a new one, don't buy fourth gen Honda City. Buy fifth gen Honda City. Hope you guys find this video informative. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.